The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual guests. Welcome to the Armed Citizen Podcast. This is episode number 364. What's going on, everybody? I was going to try to go longer. I couldn't do it without laughing. So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. We are live on YouTube, streaming to over 150 countries worldwide. We're also simulcasting over on X, or the platform formerly known as Twitter. If you guys are out there in the live stream, live show, in the audience, go ahead and say something. We don't know that you're out there unless you do. If you are watching this in replay or listening to this in podcast form, rate, review, share, all that good stuff. We do invite you to come join the madness every Tuesday night at 7 Central on the YouTube channel. Meet some really cool people that are always in the chat here, the Ghost Mafia, if you will. And all that. So, invite you over there. If you're new to this new thing and you're looking to meet some like-minded people, come join the dark side. We don't bite. We just nibble a little bit. It's okay. We don't hurt anyone. We try not to, at least. If you want to text into the show, yes, you can text into the show. Utilize the Ghost Tactical Hotline presented by our good friends over at Wilder Tactical. That number is 530-364-4678. And go check out our friends over at wildertactical.com. Some of the best gear out there. If you're a gear junkie like I am, you're going to love that place. They probably have the best war belts, battle belts, duty belts, whatever you want to call them, in the market. And they've got other stuff. They've got mag holders. They've got first aid kits. They got anything in there. If you're a gear junkie, Wilder Tactical is the place to go. Go over there and check them out and tell them Ghost sent you. Yeah, no kidding, Kyle. The it's already passed. The deadline's passed. So no one wanted to go to shot with me, man. Nobody wanted to come hang out with Ghost. So I will shower at least once that week to make it worthwhile. But I guess nobody likes me, man. Nobody wants to hang out with me. It is what it is. I lost my train of thought. I'm not very smart. Go check out watertactical.com. Tell them Ghost sent you. If you're a veteran, really anybody, but especially if you're a veteran and you're in that hole, you're in the darkness and you're looking for some light, call me, text me, email me 24/7. I cannot give you medical advice, but I might be able to talk you through some stuff, walk you through some stuff. More important, I can be here to listen to you, whatever you got to say. If you are looking to get towards some medical attention, remember two things. One, you are not alone in this fight. You have a lot of brothers out here that are willing and able to help you in any way possible. And two, the world is a much better place with you in it. So please utilize the Veteran Crisis Hotline, 1-800-273-8255. Once again, 1-800-273-8255, or you can text TALK to 741-741. As always, we're spotlighting the United States Marine Corps. If you have any questions on what it takes to earn the title of United States Marine, see their website, marines.com. And as always, we are proud members of the Firearms Radio Network and the Self-Defense Radio Network. Check out all your favorite pro-gun, pro-tway podcasts over at firearmsradio.net and selfdefenseradio.net. Let's get this off of my ugly mug and say hello to the merry band of morons this week. Uh-oh. He looks bewildered, folks. Someone stole his crayons from Anderson Manufacturing and the Commonwealth of Kentucky. I think you guys are a Commonwealth, are you not? Commonwealth?
We are.
There you go. Our good friend Kyle. What's up, homie?
Not much, Trey. Hey, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
As always, love having you on. How are you guys? Are you still burning the midnight oil? You guys still rolling deep into the woods of producing all sorts of rifles and stuff?
Oh, yeah. I done lost my office hands, man. Like,
holy shit. Yeah, you got the man hands.
I guess.
Are the calluses back?
The calluses are back. We're rolling, baby.
Nice, nice. I know you guys have got a sweet little deal going on right now. Anderson, you want to talk about that right now?
Yeah, started Veterans Day yesterday. But anybody that has a veterans account, if you don't have one and you're a veteran, go to the website, get your veterans account set up through the it's down at the very bottom of the website page there. But either way, for veterans only or veteran accounts only and LE, we are doing 20% off on top of your 10% discount that you get year round.
Yeah.
So, in our featured products for that are going to be a great segue into what we're talking about today, which is the Fader and the complete
Dissy. Oh, I love the Dissy. God, I love
yeah,
that thing.
it's one of my favorites, and it seems to be a fan favorite because we cannot seem to keep them in stock. But we did a special run of them for Veterans Day, so that we had a very cool rifle to offer on there. So yeah, go check us out, AndersonManufacturing.com. Get your veteran account set up if you're a veteran. You've earned it. 10% year round. And this week ends on Friday at midnight. You get an additional 20% on top of that.
And you have to use that code TYFYS. Is that correct?
Yeah, do not use the code TYFYS.
Don't use that at all
at checkout. I would not.
Why would you do that? It just
only people that eat crowns would do that.
It's all good. Speaking of crayon eaters, we had a birthday Sunday. Did you do anything special?
We sure did. What did I do Sunday? I think I just watched football all day.
Watch football? Yeah, I watched football. I did some steaks and shrimp up that night.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything special like that. I typically go up north. My buddy lives up near Cincinnati. We deployed together. But this year he's in Tampa. He was going to Tampa Bay Lightning game. So
okay.
Shout out to him. Hate that we missed a birthday together, but it was a 249 birthday. So
next year, 250, baby.
250 next year.
I can only imagine, man. There's gonna be some stuff going on next year. I think for 250.
250 is huge. Yeah, it's quarter.
We need to do something. We need to get it. I don't know. There's got to be something we can do.
We need to go to
a bunch of people. We need to get a bunch of people somewhere.
We should get something together at SHOT Show at a Jarhead Club.
The Leatherneck Club. Yeah. I did hear that they are rebuilding a new Ton Tavern in Philadelphia. I wonder what that could be. That could be kind of cool shit next year for 250. I wonder what kind of celebration that they would have at Ton Tavern. I'm gonna have to go to Philadelphia for that. That could be really cool, I bet.
I'd be down to go with you for sure.
Yeah, that could be really cool. What color crayon tastes best? Cobra Arm says, for me, my favorite's grape. My favorite is grape crayon, followed not closely, but maybe secondly by cherry. Not a big banana crayon fan. Grape for sure. Oh, apple. Yeah, apple's not bad.
Apple, you hit it with the chocolate.
Yeah, and then you throw in like the little pink watermelons. Not terrible.
Oh,
not bad. But my favorite for sure by far has got to be the grape crayon. Is that your favorite too, or what's your favorite?
I'm an apple guy, but speaking of grape crayons, got some cool merch going on at grapecrayons.com.
Grapecrayons.com. Go check out our website, grapecrayons.com. Yeah. Is the apple crayon green or red? That would be the green. The red for me is always cherry.
Yeah.
The green crayon is the apple crayon.
We go for the Granny Smith apples here.
Oh yeah. That's right. I do. Those are my favorite apples of the Granny Smith, the green apples. For those that don't know, the Granny Smiths are. But I used to love the Granny Smith apples with a little bit of peanut butter on them. Oh, so good, so good. Speaking of green, from the great state of Texas, the gatekeeper of all that is Texas pride and any other pride that you would like, the tactical virus. Leprechaun himself, the Green Man. What's up, Clove? How are you?
Watch out, man. Coming in high octane here.
Yeah. So if you were going to take they have like appetizer samplers everywhere. Like if you took an appetizer sampler of the crayons, like what do you think your favorite flavor would be?
Blue raspberry.
Blue raspberry. I bet you that could be pretty good. It could be pretty good. Yeah. I never thought about the blue raspberry, but that could be pretty good. Yep. There you go. What's going on with you? Everything good?
Yeah. Let's go with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, Ross. Thanks for bringing everybody down. Jesus.
I know. Another day in paradise, man.
Another day in the hood.
The
hood of Texas.
In the wood. Another day in the wood.
The wood. Yeah. I got your wood right here. But yeah.
Boys in the wood.
Boys in the wood.
That don't even sound right.
It does. It doesn't sound bad though. Like, boys in the wood are always hard. Don't quote me, boys. I ain't said shit.
We're going off the rails early.
Oh yeah.
Yikes.
It's all good. The boys in the wood are always hard. Come talk your shit. We'll pull your card. Oh boy. Anyways, all right.
Real quick, I know everybody listening is not going to know who Jacob S is, but Jacob S. You're not going to be in the way, Bob.
No, you wouldn't.
God bless it.
Yeah, we could.
Ghost will give you plenty of things to do. You ain't gonna.
Yes, I would. You'll know all about camera angles and lighting and audio. And I wouldn't have you do that at all.
Strike a pose.
I need for you to go upstairs and run and get me a soda and a piece of pizza. No. I don't even know what I do for an elevator pitch. That's the whole thing. That's the thing, bro. Like, you just got to do it, and you got to work on it. Orange cream would be a good crayon. Now, if it would be like a dreamsicle orange cream, like I'm down for that.
Yeah. Whatever happened to cream savers, dude?
I was talking with those about Chase earlier because he made a terrible mistake when he got home. He went in, was looking for a little caffeine, and thought what he was grabbing was a Dr. Pepper, and he grabbed his daughter's strawberry and cream Dr. Pepper, which was not very good. But he said that it's like a really bad cream saver. So we got on the cream saver discussion for a while. Those things were so good. The strawberry and cream savers were damn good. I'd say what's good are the orange lifesavers. Have you ever had like they're white, but they're orange flavored? Oh man, it's so good. Yeah. So good. So good. All right. Anyways, you guys know that every Thursday, Saturday, and Monday over on our YouTube community tab, we have the Pony Polls. The Pony Polls, brought to you by our good friends over at Anderson Manufacturing. And we like to have fun with these polls. So let's go check these out real quick. The first one, since it's that time of year, guys, when it comes to like the leaves in the yard, are you the kind of guy that likes to bag them up, or you just let the wind do their thing? Kyle, what would you like to do? Bag them up or let the wind do its job?
I typically let the wind do its job, but since we've had a pretty mild fall so far,
yeah,
I'm just hitting them with the lawnmower and just kind of adding some extra nutrients to my lawn there.
Mulching them up a little bit. I hear
you.
Yeah. Chloe, what about you? Wind do your job, or you going to spend time bagging everything up?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, there ain't enough bags, man. What are you talking about?
Probably true. I don't know. You've had some trees fall this past year with some storms. They might not be as many as normal.
Okay.
It's like there ain't enough trees that can fall.
I don't know. 2 out of I don't know how many. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Exactly. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
Take your rage medicine. And I feel you starting to build up a little rage here.
Breathe. Count backwards.
Breathe.
10, 9, 8,
someone ate your leftover Thanksgiving sandwich at work. It's not our fault.
That moist maker, man. The moist maker.
The moist maker. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm all about letting the wind do its job. I'll blow off the driveway a couple, every other day or so right now, because it's not just the leaves, it's the acorns and all that. And
I'm sure the driveway
so
appreciates it.
it does. Yeah, I'm sure it does. The driveway likes getting blows, so that's what it is. So why do you drive on parkways but park on driveways? You ever thought about that? Why is that? We drive on parkways but park on driveways. Never understood that, by the way.
Or some people driving the bicycle lane.
No, they're not only driving, they're drag racing in the bicycle in Indianapolis at 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm. Curb? What curb?
Curb? Where we're going, we don't need curbs. Yeah, that was crazy, man. Like, we're all looking at that and we're like, did that just happen? Yep, it just happened. But to be fair, there are some pretty big bicycle lanes in Indianapolis, apparently.
Yeah, they
so
almost fit a car. Almost.
Yeah, almost. 78% say they just let the wind do the job, man. 22% are actually putting effort into life and bagging that shit up. I'm lazy. I'm part of the 78%. Hey, more power to you.
Yeah.
This next one, this one was it wasn't as close as I thought, but I thought it'd be pretty close. But it had a lot. It had a lot of attention. Choose one: burger or pizza. Clover, we'll start with you. Burger or pizza?
Burger.
Burger. Okay. Kyle.
Burger.
Yeah. See, I'm the same way. But I thought there'd be a lot of pizza love out there. I love a good burger. I really do. Burger wins 1.6 thousand votes. 66% say a burger over pizza. So 2/3. How about that? No, Skyline is not an option. So you're not throwing Skyline chili on a fucking burger. Now G23 says pizza burger. No. No. Maybe? No?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But no,
Skyline donut burger, maybe.
Like you using like the donut as the bun?
Yeah.
No,
yeah, you hadn't seen those? I've never had one, but
no, I think that's just a diabetic attack waiting to happen.
Only live once.
That's right. Or you only die once, but but yeah. No Skyline chili on this burger. Nope. All right, so let me ask you guys this. If you're making like hot dogs or a burger, have you ever had a chili burger, by the way? Chili burgers are pretty damn good. But you're making hot dogs, you're making a burger, you're doing something like that, and it's not like a standalone chili. Are you guys for, and I'm not saying Skyline, Kyle, so just lose your shit before you even mention it. But as far as like adding chili to like hot dogs and burgers or whatever, are you guys okay with canned chili in that situation? Are you okay with canned chili?
There's only one type of canned chili I'm okay with.
No, then you don't get an answer on this. So
yeah. Why would you put all the love and care into your chili and then put it on a fucking hot dog? Like, yeah, of course you're going to use canned chili.
Yeah, so like Hormel or whatever, Wolf brand or whatever you want to
whatever
use,
blows your skirt up. Yeah.
Skyline.
Except for Skyline.
Except for Skyline. Yeah. The only thing that Skyline can chili is good for is target practice at the range. Don't ask me how I know.
No. See, Wes is hollering about the chili sauce, and I like actual chili. When I want a chili dog, by God, I want
I don't want chili sauce.
Dog.
I want chili. I want that chili.
Yeah, I want the beef, whatever it is in canned chili. I don't know.
Well, it's not. Well, it's some product. Kind of meat. It's a meat product. Yes. We probably don't want to know what's in that, but yeah. So what's Gold Star? Is Gold Star like another weird Cincinnati chili?
Direct competitor with Skyline chili. They actually
they're both disgusting. Okay,
they began as the same restaurant back in the day, and there was a few that calls them the split. So now you got Skyline, which half of Cincinnati's on there, probably 2/3 of Cincinnati's on their team.
Yeah,
and then Gold Star.
So it's kind of like Wilson Combat and Nighthawk. all used to be one thing, and then there was a disagreement, and Nighthawk people split off and started their own shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So on the chili dog thing.
Yeah.
Nacho cheese, shredded cheese.
Oh.
If shredded cheese, do you go extra sharp or
mild,
or
I go shredded, extra sharp cheddar.
Oh yeah, like the very finely shredded.
No, I like the thicker.
You like the chunky.
I do.
I'm a nacho cheese.
Yeah.
I don't mind nacho. Like if that's the way it's gonna come, I'm okay with that 100%. But if I'm gonna make it myself, then I'm gonna use the shredded extra sharp cheddar for sure.
Yeah.
2A is absolute, says I like my hot dogs on the grill just the right burn. So that's a good question. I mean, we're gonna go down to food. So hot dogs, are y'all more on the burnt side, or do you like them, not quite as burnt? Like, do you like them crispy and burnt, or how do you like your hot dogs?
It's hard to describe, but I like them dark brown.
Okay.
And I knew I'd get one chuckle.
I was gonna say that's what she said, but
but I do like some burn spots.
Like them dark brown and foot long, do you, Kyle?
Here's the thing: it's not getting better side with some burn spots on there. That's not helping
right.
you. Yeah, like a dark
Right.
brown with some burn spots.
But
Holy
I do.
shit.
I like the nice, like leathery, and then you get the inside is nice and soft. And,
Well, see, that's the thing is you have to time them almost right to get that char and still keep the moisture inside, because there's nothing worse than like a dry hot dog.
Oh God, yeah, that's a sin.
Yeah, and if they split, they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zach 91 out there says on the barrel after 500 rounds. There you go. That's a good way of thinking about it. You go 500 rounds, full auto with an Anderson, throw a hot dog on there. It's going to be just perfect. Yep.
Gonna be a crispy boy.
Yeah, boy.
I don't know, with
some bacon around there too.
With a chili dog. Now, let me back up and go that lately, I've been throwing them out on the grill, on the smoker, typically, because I love chili dogs. And
I do too.
And I'll throw them out there, and it don't take long, and you just get that little bit of smoky flavor in the char, and you get what you're talking about, and it just enhances everything with, like you're saying, the sharp cheddar cheese and the onions and the just everything working together. It's amazing.
No, that's the great thing on your chili dogs or on your dogs in general. Do you like going with some onions on there?
Oh yeah. You
like diced onions or?
Oh yeah. Finely diced. Finely diced. I don't want big. Huge.
I don't mind if they're big old. I don't want huge chunks, but I don't mind if they're medium sized chunks of. I don't need them finely diced. I don't.
Yeah.
I'll
go either way, but no, but when you're talking about a chili dog, a pot of boiling water. And throw them in there as the way I've ate many for many years. And with a chili dog, that's fine. Yeah. But if you're talking about just a hot dog, like it's got to be like over a fire somewhere or something. And I've been known to stick a fork in, one and do it over the burner on the stove even.
I mean, I do. I will do dogs on the skillet and all that, and for sure.
Yeah, if you're gonna do just a hot dog.
Yeah. I guess it's true. I mean, I guess when it comes down to like chili dogs, it doesn't have to be the perfect dog, right?
It's way better if it is, right?
Yeah, but it's still better.
Like,
it's still better than most things, even if it's not a perfect dog.
Like with the chili dog, you can get away with the cheapest of Franks, and you can get away with a lot of different things. But in a hot dog, you can't, dude.
Gary's bringing jalapenos. I'm not a jalapeno guy in general, so I would never put jalapenos on a hot dog or a chili dog or whatever. But I know a lot of people that do. What do y'all feel about jalapenos on your chili dog?
I love it.
Yeah, but you like jalapenos in general for sure, though, yeah. I'm not a big jalapeno guy. Jalapeno.
Yeah. Not on the chili dog.
Like I said, 66% of the 1.6 thousand votes took burger over pizza, and obviously it went very quickly to a food chat, which is great because I could talk food all day long, not a problem. Last one, 1.8 thousand votes, this is where I got people. Not what's better, not which one do you like the best, what's more versatile, the AR-15 or the AK-47? Kyle, we'll go with you. AR or AK as far as versatility?
AR-15.
Yeah, I agree. Clover?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say it's just much easier to configure, and versatility, like you can really just kind of build it out however you need to, and very easy to swap as far as like barrel lengths go and stuff like that. Like,
well, I know I love the 7.62 by 39, the X39. I love that round. But the modularity and everything about the AR and the AR, specifically the AR-15 design, is so much more than just the 5.56 223 round. You know, there's so many things that you can run through it that, Chloe, what about you?
Well, assuming that you did not poll people in a mental institution, who would say AK-47 with that question?
Like, Russians, Middle Eastern people, that maybe never ever shot an AR. Maybe
they've never been around it or never experienced it or never looked
at
one. Like,
I'm not as big as you are. I'm not as big as you are, but I'm decently big in Turkey. Obviously not as big as but no.
Turkey's all about their shotguns, though. Let's be honest.
They do. That's true. Cobra Arms says Brandon Herrera. Yeah, the AK guy himself. But I think even if you asked Brandon, as far as versatility, it'd be hard for him to give me a legitimate argument on the AK being more versatile.
I think so. I'm curious what the poll said.
It wasn't much of a poll. 1.8 thousand votes, 85% said AR.
Okay, I feel good.
I figured it was going to be, a blowout. But there's a lot of AK love and
nothing wrong with an AK.
No, as far as shooting an AK, I like shooting an AK more than I do an AR. Like, shooting an AK, if you've never shot an AK, especially like a true Kalashnikov, like full auto AK, that needs to be on your bucket list. It's amazing. I love shooting AK, but if we're talking versatility and everything about it, modularity, everything about it, it's the AR platform, hands down. AKs are good at 100 yards. AKs are good way past 100 yards. The problem that you're going to have, especially with classic AKs, is you're going to have to go with iron sights, and you're going to just hope that, that's what it is. Modern ones, that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight, is modern designs and classic, modern, how do I put this? Modern takes on classic design firearms, and yes, some of the newer, the more modern AK variants are going to have the pick rail, and they are going to have all that stuff. So yeah, it's all good. Now I do have an AR that's chambered in 7.62 by 39. You would think that'd be the best of both worlds. It ain't. At least the one that I have is not. They didn't figure it out.
Yeah, they're finicky to get right.
Yeah, they are. But is it cool? Yeah. The idea is fantastic. But what's up, Mario? How you doing, man? But they just, it's hard. It's gonna be tough. I told I'd like to see is maybe like an AK in like a 300 blackout or something like that. That'd be pretty cool,
Isn't it weird that while the AR-15 is the more, it's, almost undisputable, that it's the most versatile.
Yep.
The 5.56 in the AK platform works worlds better than the
Yes.
7.62 works in the AR. That's just weird to me.
It's almost like the 5.56 was made for that, right? It does. It runs great.
Yeah, 5.56 in the AK is awesome.
It runs great. Yeah, I don't know what the problem with it is, but yeah, the crossover is not always good for sure. Yeah, but those are our pony polls this week. Like I said, go check out our friends over at Anderson Manufacturing, all their social medias, and tell them hello from Ghost. More importantly, if you guys are out there, you heard Kyle talk about the Veterans Day sale all ending this Friday. Veteran and LEO, get that right. What's going on there? But if you're not a veteran or LEO and you just want to still save some money, go over there and use discount code GHOST. It'll save you some money, or use the code CloverTac. It'll save you some money. We do not receive a penny off those. That's something that Kyle has done for you guys. So absolutely check that out. But those are the pony polls. Tonight, kind of talking about what we were just talking about is kind of an interesting segue into this and all that, talking about modern takes on classic designs, right? The last few years have seen a lot, whether it's the high powers coming back in, basically 100-year-old design that's still winning guns of the year type thing. Obviously the 1911s have always have, but now even the evolution into the 2011 double stack 9mm and stuff, and 1911 designs. We're talking a lot of the bolt actions these days are Mauser-esque, right? You've
Well, I'm guessing he froze, folks.
Hello? Can you hear me?
He's back now.
Must have been I think this is about the time sometimes every now and then my internet updates. So where was I when we were talking? When I froze up? What was I saying?
Bolt actions are similar to a Mauser.
Okay, so yeah, we're talking about just the engineering feats that some of these designs brought hundreds of years ago or whatever. But obviously, these companies bringing updated things. There's obviously consumer appeal, right? For these updates, and Anderson got into bring the Dissy back, but even the Kiger, it's not like 100-year-old design, but the Kiger updated the 19 design, made it better and all of that.
Ghost.
You see like the word, can you hear me?
I got you. You're back.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know if there's not even a cloud in the sky. I have no. Maybe Yoko is doing something funky out there. Who knows? But there's a lot of AK. We're talking about the AK variants, where the modernization of the AK with bringing pick rails and a lot of maybe the polymer frame instead of the wood furniture on the AKs. Kind of one of my favorite guns I've gotten the last couple of years is this tactical lever action, where it's got the pick rail on there and it's got a handguard and stuff like that. You're taking modern takes on these classic designs, and you're introducing some of these old designs maybe to a whole new audience that maybe didn't want the old stuff. It's they like the new stuff. Kind of, Kyle, let's start with you and talk about obviously what you guys have done with some of the rifle designs, obviously the Kiger and all of that. Obviously Anderson's big into taking classic designs and making them better, but when you guys are worried about that, are y'all more worried about the aesthetics of things, or are you worried about mechanically making them better than they were originally?
It's a mixed match of both of those. Obviously you want it to be a dependable, reliable firearm.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you want it to kind of have that same aesthetic, which with the Dissipator, it was not hard. But it's staying true to kind of the original design. So actually having that rifle length gas system in there, so you get the feel and all that good stuff. Like that was very important to us, and it's also you got to meet that price point. So you know, some things get sacrificed to meet the price point. Kind of stick with our blue collar mission there, but all in all, I mean, the dissipator. I am currently, I've got the parts. I just need to go downstairs and go ahead and fill out my paperwork. But I'm going to build an updated dissipator. So I'm going to put a quad.
I'm interested. Are you going to spill the beans now, or are you going to wait till it's finished before you say what it's going to be?
I got some ideas in mind, so I don't know what it's going to turn out like. But I definitely want a free float quad rail with the cutout for the front sight base. I found at Midwest Industries, they have a front sight base gas block that's clamp, but it's adjustable. So I'm gonna try that out.
How does that work?
I mean, it's just like a typical gas block. It's the clamp design, so it just basically hugs onto your barrel right there at the.
But being adjustable, I didn't know if that would cause issues or not.
No, it shouldn't.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I guess I've never seen that.
Yeah.
Maybe I have. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
So you're going to go away from the A2 post, huh?
No, it's still a post.
Oh, it's still a post. The handguard's got a post insert?
No, the gas
block. Or got a cutout.
Yeah, I'm going to cut out the handguard. So I'm going to have one of the engineers here do it.
Interesting.
So my dissy, the way that I did mine, Kyle.
Yeah.
Is I took, and you may not have to buy anything. This is the beauty, and you've got machinists there, so it'd be super easy. So take your standard A2 front sight post.
Yeah.
You've got your bayonet lugs underneath, right?
On the bottom.
Blocky square pieces. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is drill through those, tap them, and put set screws. And then you can put that front sight post wherever you want. You don't have to have the
interesting.
You don't have to have the gas tube or line it up anywhere. Now you still have to have a low pro under the handguard, or something. You have to have a gas.
Absolutely, yeah. But
look, so mine has triangle NOM-era triangle handguards, right?
Yeah,
rifle length handguards on a carbine barrel. So I've got a low pro gas block underneath the handguards, and then out front. To hold the handguards on. Yeah, I took the A2 sight post.
So you kind of like have like the A1 handguards for the triangular A1.
Yeah, it's basically an A1 dizzy. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I never even thought about utilizing the bayonet lugs to. Interesting.
There's plenty of meat there, man. There's plenty. I mean, just drill through them and put you set screws in, and then double set screw to lock it, right? So take and get everything lined up, just hand tighten them. Once you get everything lined up, wrench those set screws down, right? That way they'll mark the barrel a little bit.
Yeah.
Take them off, and then take you a drill bit or whatever, get it straight, and divot the little marks.
Yeah.
Then go back with your set screws. Everything locks in, and if you want to be double secure, put a set screw behind the set screw, and ain't shit going nowhere, man.
That's
interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, works out well. The only thing that you have to do, the retainer for the handguards, you know what I'm saying? The retainer cap, it sets on, or it aligns because of the gas tube.
Yep.
Just use a roll pin that fits the gas tube hole in the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so just tap you a roll pin that fits that size into where the gas tube would normally go, and that'll sit right there. It won't move.
Damn, perfect. Dude.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How about them apples?
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I think you want to go free float, aren't you? You said you want to go free float handguards.
I do, but I love hearing.
Yeah, so he wouldn't have to. He wouldn't have to do that if you went free float.
No, yeah.
You could go free float and put a low pro underneath there, and then put your A2 post
and
out front.
Absolutely, especially if you're going to cut. Are you going to go like rifle length handguards?
I am, and I'm just
so that's why you're talking about having to do a cutout for the A2, the front post, because it's okay. I got you.
You've got a machine shop. Just have them chop that, cut that, and it wouldn't be nothing to put it in a mill, dude, and cut out.
Oh, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to, because I wanted to look real precise. Like,
just cut that section of rail wherever you need for the post to come up.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about that. I can't wait to see how it turns out. I'm gonna do like, probably a Breek Warhammer charging handle or something like that.
Yep.
Just
man, I love that. I love those charging handles. They're so good.
I still need to look what's out there, but I may get away from like the A2 buttstock and go adjustable. I don't know yet. I'm gonna look.
Yeah, I and so here's the thing about with my Dissy, I'm gonna leave the A2 stock on just because it's aesthetic and it has significance to me in my life, right?
100%.
Now, if it didn't have the significance and it was just a great rifle and I wanted to shoot it, I'd probably go with an adjustable stock. But I'm going to keep mine the way it is because I've got the carry handle. I've got the, it's just exactly what I want, So, but yeah, no, as far as the adjustable stock, matter of fact, I think that's the only, is it? I'm trying to think. That might be the only rifle that I have that doesn't have an adjustable stock on there at this point. So anyways, but yeah. But yeah, no, we're talking, cool things. Real quick, we do have a couple things out there. Tim out there says, what's your opinion of the Walther PDP Pro? I have a few and added the ZR Tactical 15-pound guide rod, lock grips, back straps, and night sights from XS. Put the Holosun red down on there. Yeah, I mean, you're never going to hear me have a bad word about any Walther. Well, I wouldn't say any Walther, but most Walther products. But the PD Pro is fantastic. It really is. I've shot it many, many, many times personally, and I think I'm on the record saying this, and I'm still going to go with it. And it's not because I think it's better. It's just for what I use it for. I'm a huge fan of the PPQ, and I have the subcompact version of that. And
I don't understand. It's almost like they fixed a problem that didn't fucking exist with the PDP. I do not understand why they.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Why they went that route over the PPQ? I don't get it.
I don't know either. And I that's a great question. I wish
it's not a bad handgun, but it's a PPQ that looks different. They changed the looks of it a little bit, and then that was it. Otherwise, it's a PPQ.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a great gun. I like my PPQ. That's just me.
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, I think you're right. Like, I don't, I'm not mad at them for the PDP. I don't understand why sometimes, I don't know. Yeah.
But we don't get paid the big bucks.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about the PDP? I know you shot it quite a bit as well.
Me?
I think Chris actually has a PDP Pro, which he was here. He's making a run to Columbus tonight to get some stuff. But
yeah, I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with the PDP. There may be, matter of fact, Thursday, an interesting PDP available to members now, but maybe an interesting PDP video that drops.
There you go.
But anyway, no, like you, I've shot the PDP tons in every variant and every flavor and all that kind of stuff. And then it's a PPQ that looks different. That's why, and I love my PPQ, so that's not knocking it. It's
Absolutely.
just it's a PPQ that looks different. So if you own the PPQ, I don't see any reason as to why you would get a PDP. It makes no sense to me. But if you don't have anything, well, really, you don't have an option. You get a PDP unless you can find a deal on a used PPQ, of course.
Yeah.
But the trigger's phenomenal either way.
Yeah. Walther figured out the trigger.
Oh man,
they figured it out with the PPQ and it carried on to the PDP. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Absolutely. Wes says, how much do you think Henry's influenced some of the retro designs the last 10 years or so? I think heavily.
Yeah.
You know, I think that what Henry has done in the last 5-6 years, especially, I think there's a reason why there has been kind of a resurgence of levers. I think that Smith and Wesson, going back to some levers. I think what Henry has done, maybe not in the designs. I think the Golden Boys are beautiful. I think they're gorgeous rifles. But I think what Henry has been able to do for the market was keep lever actions cool, keep lever actions. I'm not saying that levers were actually ever going out of style or were never relevant, but I think what Henry's been able to do with going to 9mm and doing some different things with them is keep them relevant, keep making them cool again. People like me, who's never really been a lever guy, getting into levers today. I think that Henry, for a lot of different reasons, is very, very important to the survival in today's lever market. Clover, Kyle, what do y'all think about Henry's role in today's lever market?
I agree. I mean, I think they've kept it classical the entire time, which I love that. I mean, their name, I'm pretty sure their official name is Henry Repeating Arms.
Henry Repeating Rifles, yeah.
Which, you know,
pretty badass, you know.
Yeah, they've always had that classic aesthetic. And I mean, to me, and I'm a younger guy here, but just been iconic my entire lifetime. So,
yeah. You know, for me, not being a big lever guy, you could throw a bunch of levers down, and the only one that I could be able to tell you who made it would be a Henry.
Yeah, 100%.
If that tells you anything, right? Clove, you're a lever guy, and you know more of the history about that stuff. But how important is Henry being able to keep the lever action relevant? How much are they responsible for that?
Yeah, they for the modernization of it or whatever, I think they were. Well, I would point to two things, honestly, because you can't give them credit without talking about another company. Henry, obviously, with the X Series all weather, that thing, I think, really sort of put that sort of thing in front of a younger, newer gun owner generation, however you want to call it. I don't want to say necessarily younger, because there are older people that come to it late in life. But then also Ranger Point Precision.
Okay, see, I don't know much. I mean, I know that, but I don't know like what they did.
Ranger Point Precision, all the ones you've seen them with the
I've seen them, but I'm saying like I don't know what all they did for the lever market. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, they started with the Henrys.
Okay.
Right. So that was the thing. Yeah.
Okay.
And so that really brought a lot more attention to the Henrys. So while
make
I don't
them
have
maybe
a problem,
more cooler or whatever,
So while I don't have a problem giving Henry credit, I think they are partially, they do get partial credit for that, for sure.
Yeah.
Ranger Point Precision, I think you have to throw them into the mix as well.
Okay. Bring in our good friend from EAA, the Sovereign to Smoke Sausages. What's up, Chase?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Oh, good, because this is going to be something I think that you're going to enjoy too, because we're talking about the modern takes on classic designs, and the question out there, excuse me, was basically how important was Henry into keeping lever actions kind of alive, and I said that for me to this day, you could probably put 10 lever actions down and I'd only be able to pick out one of them. That'd be a Henry, especially if it's a Golden Boy, because I just love that. But I think Henry is very important of making them cool again. They went to the 9mm. They did a lot of cool, the mare's leg. They did some cool stuff to make levers cool again. I don't know, you're a very much kind of like Clover, very much of a firearms historian, and you obviously like classic designs. But as for the lever world, how responsible for keeping it alive is Henry?
Honestly, Henry really did help kind of keep the lever gun fires burning when Marlin dropped off after all the Remington lawsuit madness.
Right.
Winchester has never, or the Browning BLRs for that matter, have never been in like huge supply in the modern era. So, I mean, you had a couple of you had some smaller things like the Rossies and things like that out there, but Henry really kept that American lever gun, going.
Mm-hmm.
And like what Clover was just saying, guys like Ranger Point really kicked it off, but now all the, modern tactical cool guy lever gun stuff, it's really brought that whole lever gun market like back into vogue again.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm happy they are because, like I said, I'm thoroughly enjoying, and it's a G-Force. It's not a Henry. It's nothing spectacular. It's not a high price thing, but for me, it's been fun as hell. It's the 357, 38 special lever action, but it's a tactical. It's got the pick rail on top, and it's got a hand guard on there, and it's, you can put lights or whatever and dots on it and all that. It's kind of fun, but it still gives you that fun. There's nothing, to me, just racking that lever is just fun as hell. And, brings you back to, it's just fun. It's fun. And honestly, what I would say for me is John Wick 4 was what did that for me. Yeah. I thought I was going to have a chance to work with Henry a couple of years ago. It hasn't played out. It's fine. And I was really happy about the mirrors, like excited about the mirrors. I think it'd be cool as hell. It still would be great to do that. But seeing John Wick 4 and seeing that tactical lever action, I was like, now that's my kind of shit right there. And so I'm having a blast. Go ahead, Chase.
Well, I was going to say, like, you're talking about like that smoothness of lever gun. That's one thing about like the Henrys I've always liked. Old Marlins had it. The old Winchesters had it.
Yeah.
But the Henrys, for the most part, especially when you get in like the big boy stuff, they have a very distinct, very slick action.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of their hallmarks is like that Henry action just feels different.
It does. And you brought them up. I think even Clover mentioned them and being part of the solution as well as Rossi. And a lot of people will crap on Rossi, but I think Rossi was able to bring lever actions to a lot of people because they were cheap, or I would say they were inexpensive. They were affordable and all that. What part did Rossi play in you guys? I mean, I don't know what you guys. I'm not familiar with many Rossi lever actions. I don't even know if I've ever shot one or not. But what part did Rossi play into this?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'll tell you for me. So when I was on the dealer side of all this, there for a while, Henry and Rossi's the only two things you could get.
That's true too. Yeah.
Having an affordable option against some of the Henrys. I mean, because the big boys have never been a cheap gun, extremely well-made gun, and Henry's got the same issue that Winchester or Browning does or Marlin. They make a good product. They just don't make as many of them as the market would like to consume.
No. They don't.
And it's just part of what it is those are lever guns are a lot more time consuming to produce than people think or people understand, I guess. So having that Rossi option, the Rossi, brass tech stuff for a while was a good barrier for entry for a lot of people was the price of some of these upper end lever guns. So you had a gun that you could sell to the average consumer that was, at that time, $500 or less.
Yeah. Yep. Scott says the Rossi M92 rocked, and I want to say that that's basically what the G-Force lever actions are based off the 92 actions and all that. So might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Real quick before we move on, G23 Clover, you might be the only one. Chase, you might, but I don't even know if Clover has thoughts of the Walther 22 WMR. Have you had a chance to work with that, Clover?
Oh yeah. Well, okay, I've worked with it. No, have I shot it extensively? Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on it?
I don't care for it, but I mean, to be fair, I don't like semi-auto 22 WMR or anything.
There you go.
They to me, they just don't work right. Like that cartridge is not designed for that. It's an a lot of engineering hurdles in that. And to date, I don't think anybody has actually got it right. Even Ruger with the 1022 version.
Yeah.
Just my opinion.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me you don't like the 17 HMR semi-autos either?
This is true. Yes, that is correct.
I don't think he's a big fan of semi-autos in general for the most part.
Well, all a 17 HMR is a neck down 22 WMR, so it's essentially the same. It's the same exact hurdles.
Yeah.
So.
Those guns are very solidly in the bolt gun, lever gun world. Let's be honest.
Oh,
bolt
I can
gun,
see it
lever
being
gun,
fantastic
revolver
in a bolt gun. Yeah, I mean, a bolt
I've
gun
got a
would be great.
6-inch. I've got a 6-inch revolver in 17
That's what she
HMR
said.
that is lights out. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
but in anything semi-auto, I caveated that. I said in semi-auto, I've never been a fan, and I don't think I ever will be again because of just it's the engineering behind it, and I don't feel like anybody's gotten it right. And I don't think they will at this point. That cartridge has been around long enough. Somebody should have figured it out. And and there should be tons and tons and tons of. There would be, if somebody had figured it out, there would be a lot more options than what you currently see.
By the way, I made a mistake. The G4 stuff is based off the Winchester 1894. So there you go. But yeah, no. So it's one of those. You're talking 17 HMR, 22 WMR. I don't give a shit about either one of those. So I'm not the one. He has an 7. Our Texas, he has a 17 HMR and an AR. I guess that'd be interesting.
He is a mad scientist.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I've ever seen a 17 HMR AR, but obviously they're out there somewhere. But yeah, Wes is out there looking at the Ranger Point site now.
Probably a Bear Creek. They'll make anything.
Well, that's true. That's true.
There
you go. He's just a BCA, baby.
I was gonna say, is he a Bear Creek or Alexander? Like AA was the first one.
What's that? What's that company that's always at Tulsa, Clover? That Gary had a bunch of issues with.
Oh, Durkin.
Durkin, yeah, I bet you Durkin would do something like that. Because
yeah, right.
Yeah,
just throw some shit together. Why not?
Yeah, it doesn't ever work, but anyways, yeah. Anyways, yeah. So we're talking Chase. We're talking like I said, modern takes on old designs and all that, and obviously, a lot of what you guys do are paying homage to some classic designs. Before we start talking about maybe what you guys are doing, I want to kind of run this through the panel because we've all had this discussion before. But Kyle, Clover, Chase, if there was, doesn't matter if it's rifle, handgun, doesn't matter what it is. If there's a classic design that hasn't come out yet or whatever, is there a design out there that you personally would love to see come back in a modernized, updated world? What would that be? I'll start with Kyle on that one. What's out there that you would say, man, I wish this was a thing? And remember, Chase might be able to make it happen.
That's pretty tough. That is tough because yeah. I feel like if I had that, we'd probably be making it.
That's true too.
To be honest, I feel like everything's been revamped that I'd like to see revamped. To be honest, I'm just kind of like along for the ride, excited to see what's next.
Yeah. Yep. I know where me and Clover are going to go, and I want to say Chase might be on the same boat because we've had this discussion many, many times over the last few years. But I'm going to wait and see what Clover says. What do you think, Clove?
Oh, I'm going to go. Yeah, I don't know. I could go so many ways with it. Probably not going to go that way. Hey, man, see a modern production of something that's not been around. Man, I don't know. There's a bunch. I would like to see, honestly, some of the foreign, like World War II stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
so the British stuff. Are you talking about
all across the board? I was thinking
Asian
more
stuff,
like
or
some of the Japanese stuff. Honestly,
I would say, yeah.
I was thinking Naboo.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff that, and I wonder if they never really made it. Because kids probably. because they were the enemy and they didn't want us to know about their weapon systems. But man, they had some cool shit back then. I don't know.
I actually do have one now that Clover brought that up.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to see a modern era grease gun, dude.
A grease gun. That would be some cool ass shit right there.
So I was gonna say, and it's fairly new, and Sol Invictus tried, but I was gonna say, which is to me is a modern era grease gun, is the Tech 9.
Yeah.
When you say modern era grease gun,
no, I could see where you're going with that. I could,
but I mean, the Tech 9's been 30 years ago at this point, or something.
Yeah, but it's still modern compared to World War I, World War II.
True.
Yeah, I never thought about the Tech 9 being.
But that little Sol Invictus,
even the looks of it is kind of grease gunnish,
Well, that little Sol Invictus was cool, right?
It was cool. Yeah.
I heard one, the STG 44, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of butthurt people over the whole PSA, and they're supposedly shelving it. And it's like,
are they really?
Yeah, that's what
interesting.
I've heard.
Yeah,
a lot of people were throwing a fit about it.
Not surprising, but interesting. Yeah.
I'm not surprised either, because the whole reason Hill and Mac got into the world of shit trouble they got into is they couldn't make it fucking work.
Yep. Interesting. Chase, if you could have one classic design come back in a modernized way, what would yours? I mean, obviously you probably got several of them, but which one that comes to the top of your head?
I mean, while I would love to see a functional Sturmgewehr, there's a reason why several people have tried and failed. PSA being the most recent, the STG 43.
Well, to be fair though, they bought out the Hill and Mac design.
Well, yeah, they did. It's just
that they could have improved on it, and they didn't.
That gun's a lot harder to recreate than people are giving it credit for. Because everybody's like, oh, the Soviets just reverse engineered the AK, and there it is. And I'm like, well, yeah, no. The German was more complicated than people think. I think, in the World War II vein, I think like a modern day Schmeiser would be cool as hell too, an MP40.
This is an interesting concept. You're bringing up something interesting, and I don't want to derail the conversation.
No, this is what the conversation's about. This is it. Go for it. Absolutely.
Dude, honestly, at the end of the day, do we give a shit if it's identical to what it used to be, as long as it looks like what it used to be?
To me, if I look at it and it's paying homage to that, but it's still functioning in a modern way, I'm good with that.
Because I think like the STG reproduction. I think like the STG 44, I think they could do it, but they got to get away from this idea of they want all the original to be modern, and like tweak what you got to tweak from an engineering standpoint.
Make it work. Yep.
Yeah, that gun, and with the aesthetics of that gun, but modernizing it where it's more reliable and easier to manufacture, let's roll with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Schmeiser would be pretty simple because it's an early MP5 basically.
Well, it's based off of an MP. Yeah, the design can be replicated, easier. The engineering wouldn't be as difficult.
No, I mean MP40, Stens, Brands, those are really hard to redo. The one that, that's just me on my nostalgia side, but what I would really like to see in a modern gun that'd be cool would be a Martini Henry.
Oh, this would be true. Yeah.
Like somebody does a really nice Martini
Henry. Breech loading, single shot lever.
I have a special place in my heart for Martinis. They're cool guns.
So what is that chambered in?
Whatever you want.
Yeah, pretty much. They built it whatever you wanted back then.
Okay.
Just falling block stuff in general is cool. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, probably the most accurate action you could have.
Oh, those things are stupid accurate. That's why they were so favored by game hunters and precision marksmen.
Yeah.
So this was the one that kind of replaced the muzzle. This is one of the first rifles, right? That was used
like modern era rifles. Yes,
modern era rifles. Yeah,
it was one of the early modern.
It says 1871, so that's pretty early in the game.
And Magnum super powerful cartridges as well.
Yeah.
The action was super tough. It still is super tough. I mean, those guns are still highly sought after.
Mm-hmm.
That or this will be a Clover thing, but if you could make like a modern Lamat revolver.
Oh yeah, right.
That would be
right.
bad.
I don't know how you would do the revolver with a shotgun. I don't know.
I don't know, but that'd be so damn cool.
Yeah.
I know one of the ones that we had talked about in the last couple of years is the Bren 10. I think that would be kind of a cool thing to come back. Because I think that, we've talked about this. I think the Bren 10 was not a success, quote unquote, but I think is maybe ahead of its time. Does that make sense? I think that I think if it was released now as a new gun in today's, I think it'd be a huge hit, but I think it was maybe just too early for the Bren 10.
I think it was, and I think Chase probably knows a lot on this too, but my opinion on it is that it was, I don't want to say over-engineered, but the engineering was overly complicated, I think, on it. Maybe. Way to put it.
The Bren 10
and nowadays, I don't think companies would do that because they would be wanting ease of production and turning a profit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, those early Bren 10s had issues because they were so over-engineered.
Yeah.
The thing about the Bren 10 was it was like a lot of other cool children of the 80s. It was a really cool design that was ahead of its time, but because of the time frame, they just couldn't quite make it work.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this, kind of what we were talking about earlier is about, does it have to be identical? If it looks like the Bren 10, but the engineering and the mechanics of it is tweaked to be a lot more easily used and less prone to break down and easily fixed and all that, tweaking that stuff, but still the aesthetics look like a Bren 10. Do you think people would like it, or do you think they would want to keep the original quote unquote design elements to that? What do you think for that?
I think it goes both ways, probably.
I think it's got to have key features. There's like key features to every gun where you're like, okay, that's that. And I hate to keep playing the what if game, but you guys brought the Bren, and I was like, dude, a modern day Sten.
Ooh, a Sten would be nice.
I'm looking at some modernized Stens right now on Google, and it's interesting.
So I don't know this, but one of the most famous handguns ever, and you guys have probably know. I'm not a big historian on guns and all of that, but the old Luger. Has anyone ever done like a modern Luger?
They're 22s for sure.
Okay, outside of 22, has there any been? I mean, I think that the design, the looks of the Luger was freaking awesome.
There's a company
when you see a Luger, you know what that is. You know what's up?
Yeah. So there was a company that tried years ago. They just really couldn't quite make it happen.
Okay.
Because the Luger, again, is one of those things that's, it's a really unique firearm, but it's got its own unique challenges like the Bren. So I think it's like the Bren, or like I was, we were saying earlier about like the Sturmgewehr and things like that. As long as you maintain those aesthetics that made the gun what it was, some modern interpretation or some modern like enhancements to make it work, I think people would be okay with. The majority of people would be okay with.
For the Luger specifically, I would fall in that boat. I wouldn't care if it mechanically is the same as the original. I want the look of that Luger, right?
Well,
that's a historic gun, so
that's also why you see a lot of the, bring back, what do you want to call it, in 22, right?
Yeah,
it's
sure.
They can take a proven design and then wrap aesthetics around it.
Yeah.
Whereas trying to do that with center fire, trying to do that with a larger cartridge just is not going to work.
Yeah.
No. I mean, but think about like a modernized Luger or like a modernized like broom handle Mauser that you could run a rail on, you could run optics on, you could do all the modern enhancements. Come on, that'd just be cool.
so with a Bren 10, talking about the aesthetics and being so you could take.
That's pretty cool, Kyle, but I ain't
think
spent
anyway.
$8,500 on it.
so like a Bren 10,
yeah,
is really really close to that CZ design.
It is.
And so, could you? And CZ designs are a dime a dozen, right? There's several companies that do that. All you would need essentially was an aesthetically redesigned slide to get kind of the hump on the back. Probably a little bit deeper, a little bit.
And it probably would maybe just be an aesthetic slide.
Yeah, more of a chamfered grip cut, and you wouldn't even be changing internals. You would just be changing things on that.
Yeah, exactly.
Now that would come with probably added material because it would be a little bit beefier slide. So then you've got to worry about what material are you going to use for that, and you're cycling. So what kind of springs are you going to use, and getting, there's a lot that goes into that. It's for every action there's equal and opposite reaction, right? You have to get the math right on that, unfortunately.
Damn, Newton, the hell's wrong with you? You're bringing up cool shit.
Yeah.
G23 says the broomstick needs to come back. Sure. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, isn't the broomstick, that's what Han Solo's blaster was based off of? So, I mean,
what it was. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So it already has been come back, and it's even more modernized because now it's a blaster. So just wait for that to come real.
And there are 22 versions of that.
Yeah.
Clover's going to eat me alive for this.
Uh-oh.
But I really think, and I'm looking at them next to each other right now, the Buckmark and the Luger are very similar. And just the exterior.
It's the aesthetics of it.
Yeah.
So all of your 22 pistols, right?
Yeah.
I think honestly the Ruger Mark 1s and 2s and 3s and stuff are more so. Look up the Ruger Mark 1. Ruger Mark 1, you would agree, Chase, right? Is almost identical.
If you look at like the original Colt Woodsmans and like the
silhouette
Mark 1s, look at a
the Mark 1 absolutely
Nambu.
Looks like one. Yeah. Hell yeah, it does. Holy shit.
Very similar silhouette.
Yeah, they're like a Luger and a Japanese Nambu, like had a love child.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yep. And I think that's for a reason. I think that's why. I think it was a popular design, and those companies built off of that look or whatever.
Yeah, it's a cool look. That's why I love the Luger. It's just it's one of those guns that you see and you know what it is, right? Like that's a Luger,
High Standard is also very similar.
Yeah. I mean, in the field, I'd rather have a P38 over a Luger, but the Luger is the iconic pistol.
The iconic pistol, for whatever reason, Yep. Jacob out there says he'd love to see a modernized Garand out there with 8-round clips. We've talked about this before. Garand's modernized to not be 87 pounds, or whatever, would be awesome.
What if
even if you did like a polymer, everything, but made it the wood grain polymer so it looks wood, but it's not the weight of the wood? That'd be kind of cool. Go ahead, Clove.
What if you took the Garand and was able to engineer it to where instead of the whole 8-round, M-block clips, blah blah blah, you could actually use like a 20-round detachable box magazine,
like a mag. Yeah, that would be badass.
Almost like M14, right? But 30-06 Garand.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys this:
like an M14, but works better.
That actually works. Yes, that actually works. Yes. So let's just say something like that. Let's take that for a perfect example. A Garand that is going to be more polymer based for weight and all that. We're going to change it to where it could be a mag fed type thing. For me, I know where I go with this, but Kyle, I think Kyle's kind of more on my boat, but I think Kyle, Clover and Chase, but are going to be different. But for me, like, that sounds cool. But I'm also not into it has to be a replica. Like, it has to be historically identical to the original and all of that. I like the ideas of modernized, more tactical, a tactical Garand, if you will, with a pick rail, or somehow incorporate a pick rail and a Garand. It would be kind of cool as hell. Would Kyle's go through the room? Kyle, a tactical modernized Garand, yay or nay? Would that be something you're interested in?
Yay.
Okay, Clover.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, Chase.
We've had the conversation before, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that something like that would be talking about. I'm bringing that up because they're talking about how lever actions have kind of been more tactical lately, and that might have helped springboard the lever back. Man, can you imagine how many people would want to buy a Garand if it was modernized and tactical?
Like
Holy
a SOCOM,
shit.
like a SOCOM edition.
SOCOM, hell yes.
Yeah. I mean, the Italians did it in the 50s of the VM59, but if you took the idea of that and brought it forward with modern components, modern accessories, there's so much stuff you could do, because you could do one, basically have hey, this is your traditional M1 Garand in .6, or you could shorten it down to 308 or insert whatever modern caliber you want. But if you want the cool guy shit, here's everything you could possibly throw at it, all the modern tactical lever guns, go nuts.
Yeah. And even if it's one of those things that sounds weird, I'm not saying Anderson should do this, but there's no reason why they shouldn't do this either. Figure out a way with today's modern AR platform somehow to do something that might look Garandish, you know what I'm saying, but be a modern sporting rifle. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool. I think that there's a lot of people, especially now, there's that younger generation that's playing the Call of Duties, and they're playing these online games. And most of those games, when you first start out to try to break your way into this stuff, you've got to use like a Garand to see, to prove that you're worthy of doing this. And I think that there would be a lot of kids that would be like, oh man, that's pretty cool. I want to get me a Garand.
It's just the price, I think, right? Because there are some companies that do like an AR style in 30-06, and they're not cheap. But holy Jesus, you take those and in like a 24-inch barrel, 26-inch barrel with wood furniture, and they look phenomenal.
Or even polymer furniture that's like wood looking, you know what I'm saying, for weight or whatever. It'd be badass. I think it'd look cool as hell.
If you do like a modernized Bakelite look, it'd look pretty cool too.
Yeah. I mean, it would just, I think that those are the kind of things that, the great thing about these video games that all the kids are playing these days is these video games are introducing them to the historic weapons of years past. But most of these kids will never see one in real life. But if they had a modern version or something, I think that they, could you convert some of these kids into gun people? I don't know. Maybe you could. I don't know.
I mean, look at the Ohio Ordnance H cars, like bringing the modernized BARs to the front. Like,
absolutely.
If anybody would like to donate to the Chase doesn't need one of those, we'd like to have one.
How much do those run, by the way?
I had like $8,500 or something ridiculous now.
Yeah.
Like when they first came out, I got a buddy that got one of the early ones, and they were like, I think dealer cost back then was like $5,000 on it. It was insane.
Yeah.
They've never been cheap, but I'd still like to have one.
They're on sale this month, $6,500.
Woo, baby!
There you go.
That's a Black Friday sale for you.
Hot deal.
And I get to shoot one Saturday. I am super pumped about it.
Really?
You will enjoy it. Trust me. You cannot grin when you pull the trigger on those things. I promise.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pick up a couple boxes of 30-06 throughout the weekend.
That's awesome. Scott says, "How about a modernized Johnson rifle or LMG?"
I'd be sick.
I'm down for an LMG. Hell yeah.
Yeah, a modernized like Johnson, or like even a more modernized Stoner LMG that works.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
Honestly, now with HK USA becoming a thing, like for real, like, can we bring back the G3s in the sub-cal variants, please?
I think that HK USA opens up a lot of interesting avenues if they're willing to explore them. And I think they will be, maybe not right away, but I think that that's maybe one of the reasons why the HK USA is happening, is to maybe some creative differences possibly, and availability and able to get things done, imported and all of that. I think the HK USA ideas are going to be pretty cool if they're willing to do them. And it might take them a few years to do it, but I think there's a possibility of some really cool shit coming through HK USA. Just saying. What could possibly be done to a mod deuce to modernize it? I don't think you touch a mod deuce. That's just me personally. I don't think. What do you guys think about the mod deuce? Do you try to do anything with that, or you just let it go?
Suppressors.
Well, I mean, they've already got cans for it. They got one. They're already made.
I was going to say they do exist.
Yeah, they already make cans for it. They already make rail systems for it, and they already make.
But the cans aren't. They can't last that long. I mean, good lord.
Dude. Yeah, they'll hold up on it.
I never shot one with a can on it.
They've got underbarrel attachment lights.
Oh yeah, like the Surefire, Hellfighter, all that stuff.
The Hellfire.
They didn't have that shit when we were using them. They didn't have that shit.
If you want to throw daylight onto something, you need to try one of those one time. Trust me, it's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, they make all kinds of optics mounts now for them, thermal systems.
But those aren't modernizing the design. Those are just modernizing attachments.
We made it a little lighter with the modernized M2s, and we did quick change barrels without having to do timing and all that stuff anymore. Yeah. Now that's all you need. There's no more timing headspace gauges. They quick change the barrels.
You don't have the headspace and time anymore?
No.
What?
I still have a headspace timing gauge laying around here, like on my dresser right now. That was like an ancient artifact. Now people don't know what the shit that is anymore.
Oh man, these guys are all made.
It's just like, I mean, if you look at the new ones, that goofy handle on it now, it's just like a 240 or a 249. It's quick change barrel.
It does have the goofy handle, which I saw when I was like, heavier. Why the fuck would you do that?
I mean, it makes sense. Like,
not really to me.
Well, I mean, they get some. I mean, you look. We were talking earlier today about like Fallujah or Ramadi stuff. Since then, I mean, you get in these sustained firefights, you need to switch the barrels in them.
Yeah,
and I don't want to be sitting there on a turret trying to, headspace one.
You don't.
Hey, you just keep your optimal timing up here, dude.
Yeah, like we're gonna roll with that.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. The mod deuce, I don't touch that. I don't touch any of the 240, the 249s. I don't want to touch those. I don't want to see those bastardized,
A modern day FAL, which Clover.
An FAL, I could be down with if done properly.
Clover's got something pretty close to it.
He does.
Allegedly.
I mean, those DSAs and all that stuff they do now, but I'd like to see a more modernized FAL.
I've just got quad rail and pick rail and quad rail, scout pick rail and ACOG is basically.
That's pretty much a modernized FAL, bro.
With mine, it's not.
Yeah.
I'd like to go on the record for that's just one more of my, you're young and stupid, and I got rid of my Emble FAL years ago, and I never should have.
You had one and got rid of it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you should be slapped.
Stupid. Oh, bro, I don't want to talk about my HK collection I used to have.
Yeah.
I love my FAL. But I'm not an AR-10 guy, so. My FAL, what's interesting, this is funny. So Chase may get this. I don't know anybody else that deals with FALs might. So remember the goofy politician bitch that was talking about the shoulder thing that goes up, and everybody was picking on her because of the shoulder thing
Oh,
that
is
goes
that
up.
the?
Yeah.
My FAL literally has a fucking shoulder thing that goes up. So
Yeah. FALs and M14s do have a shoulder thing that goes up for sustained fire.
Who was
And let
that?
me
Was
tell
the
you
lady
something.
from California, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What was her name?
Have you ever tried? Anybody here ever tried? And an operative word here is try. Tried to shoot a full auto FAL?
Oh yeah, it's a
No, I
handful.
haven't. I've never shot a full auto FAL.
Yeah, like after the third round, it's at 12 o'clock. I mean, it's like.
Oh, of course, I'm sure it would be.
If nobody out there has ever had the opportunity to try to hang on to a 308 battle rifle in auto, beat an FAL, beat a G3,
there's a reason why
beat
they're
an
not
M14.
out there. There's a reason why AR-10s are not standard issue.
Which Chase may know this, but which war was it? I don't remember. It was in Europe. Both sides were using FALs. One side had select fire, the other side had full auto, and the side that had full auto were literally throwing theirs down because it used the same ammo and picking up the select fires because they couldn't hit anything with the full autos because they were just so much to handle. I don't even remember what war that was. It's like
that sounds like some Rhodesian shit for real, but I don't know what it was.
Hang on, I'm gonna go look it up.
But that's why I'm a more big fan of the 3-round burst. I mean, full auto it's a lot easier to control a 3-round burst.
The Falkland War.
Falklands, yeah.
It was Argentina
and Britain.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they were using Argentinians were using the full auto.
Yeah.
Not for long, I bet.
Yeah.
Pretty sure they were Emble built or under contract, should I say?
Yep.
But
yeah, they're
yeah. I will say of the three, the G3 is definitely the more controllable of the three. But that delayed roller lock has a lot to do with it.
The 91.
Yeah.
They had one. I think Clover remembers this a couple years ago in my gun shop. They had a 91, obviously semi-auto, in the gun shop here, and they wanted like $8,000 or something for it, and then that dropped down to $6,000, and it dropped down to $3,000, and I think it was on consignment, and man, it was in good shape. It probably hadn't been shot hardly at all, and it's people don't realize the 91 and 308 it's a big ass gun. Like, it's a heavy gun, and you start pumping that through that at a high rate of speed in full auto or whatever. It's brutal, Scott says he had a chance to buy a 91 and a 93 for $700 total. Holy shit. When?
Wow.
2006 is when I bought my 91 and my 93, and I had $1,400 in the two total, and I bought my 94 for $700.
No, what's the 94? I don't remember what's the 94 one.
A semi-auto MP5.
Oh, okay.
I just needed a trigger pack. That's all I needed.
Yeah, he did. That would have been terribly difficult, I would imagine.
Oh, man, they were
87 or 88. Golly.
Yeah.
$700 total. Holy
now, I bought these via a special source as a dealer. So retail, those guns would have been at that time around $2,000-ish each.
Yeah. Yeah. So the 94, that was the okay. The semi-auto 8.9 inch barrel. Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Let's kind of move on a little bit into, we talked about what we'd like to see, and let's talk maybe about some pros and cons. And Chase and Kyle working with the manufacturers and all that, and designing a lot of these stuff, or Kyle with the Kiger, obviously Chase, EAA, and Gerson doing a bunch of cool updates. Obviously, having a 100-year design like the high power coming across as the MCP35, winning handgun of the year 100 years after its design. When you guys were in the discussions of doing the high power at EAA, how much of it was keeping is true to the original Browning design versus how much do we want to update? How much do we want to modernize it? Obviously, there's different models that you added, with the match and all that. But when the initial discussion happened with you guys, how much of it was to pay homage and how much of it was to update?
When we built the original gun, the first, like the standard, the MCP, that's the regular MCP35, it was targeted to be a true like Mark III high power.
Okay.
It was going to be with the total idea of, you get the base gun done and then you start having fun with it.
Yep.
Which is, where the PI came from, where nobody ever really did a lot of carry models besides,
right? Yeah,
like the F&Ms and the few, FN guns that were built, and then obviously that turned into the, the ops and the match models and the PI ops match, the lightweights, that stuff. You took the initial, true variant of, and then you go wild with it.
Yeah. Because the P35, once again, 100 years after the design, won handgun of the year. And I think that's awesome. It just shows you that some of these designs, obviously the 1911 for over 100 years has always been kind of redone and all that. But now the evolution into the 2011, the double stack game. I'm one of the people that I say that the 2311 you guys did, or the 2011s in general, brought me to that 1911 design. And I know people say it's sacrilege to call 2011 a 1911 design. Well, that's what it is. I mean, it's still got the heart and the soul of the 1911 in mind. It's just updated and modernized. But the 2011 brought me to, enjoy the 1911 design a little bit more. And I don't know why that is. I've got a couple 1911s that I love. But that 2011 design, and I think that people are like, oh, I can't believe people did that. And then now everyone's doing a double stack 2011, so it's one of those that, it's funny to hear people say, I can't believe they did that to the 1911. And now everyone and their sister has at least one in design and all that. Kyle, were you going to say something? I saw you just pop up real quick.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm going to bring you in on here. And we were talking about the Kiger and all of that. With the 19, aside from maybe utilizing parts from the 19 and magazines from the 19, you guys kind of went away from the looks of the 19, which I think is kind of an interesting take on it.
Yeah, I mean, the parts was 100% intentional, just because that aftermarket already existed.
It's huge. Absolutely.
I can't remember who said, I think it was Grantham, but even your grandma's got Glock 19 Gen 3 parts up in her attic right now.
Except for Clover.
Yeah, maybe not Clover. But basically, we just took all the upgrades that we seen people doing to theirs and went ahead and implemented them into a package.
Yeah.
And worked on getting the machining times right and all that good stuff, down to where we can make it way more affordable than if you went out and purchased the 19 and got all those upgrades done. And there's your Kiger 9C Pro, man.
Yeah.
Well, it's definitely the, for that money, right, in that price range.
That's the best.
There's a ton of Glock 19 clones. Let's not dance around that. But in that price range, the Kiger Pro is 100% absolutely the best looking of them all. I mean, it's a phenomenal looking handgun. Looks nothing like a Glock.
No, and that's what I love about it, because I do love the Glock 19, and the Gen 3 is what I have. That said, I love the idea of the simplicity of the 19, the parts of the 19.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But it doesn't have to look like the 19, and I love that. Yeah.
So easy to build, so easy to work on. Like,
yeah. And we're talking about like these retro reboots or whatever, and I think it's a little bit easier to modernize them, to get them better. Chase, bring you back in, especially like the witness and all of that. The use of polymer instead of everything being steel to cut weight. The use of being able to make optic cuts, or mounting rails, or you guys have a custom grip module, being able to customize these things and all that. But how much of the materials that are out there today play a role into this success? Because I guess you're able to not only make them lighter, but at that point you're also able to make them a little bit more affordable because you're using polymer and lightweight alloys and all that stuff. When you guys were deciding on the 2311, was it always going to be kind of a polymer based gun? Is that was the original idea, or how did that come to fruition?
Yeah, the grip module itself was envisioned to be a polymer grip module.
Okay.
Because people who aren't familiar with like the double stack 1911, 2011, as it is frame, or in our case, the 2311.
Yeah.
There's actually a a frame inside of that, a lower receiver,
a skeleton, if you will.
But there's basically a little frame that the rail all is built in. That's what actually the grip module attaches to. That's your serialized part. But the grip modules now, because of modern processes, modern technology, you can run so much further with it. You can do so much in the polymer molding world. Now you can do,
you can make the ergonomics be whatever the hell you want it to be with that as well.
Exactly. You can do, the sky's the limit of all the stuff you can do to it. It's basically like in the polymer stuff, it's, all in, how much you want to spend on molds to do different things, really.
Yeah. Well, and with that stuff, it's a lot easier, I would imagine, to, let's say, I wish Chris was here, but Chris is always asking, you make that in a left-handed gun, for the lefties being ambidextrous, a lot of the polymer stuff has made guns being easily more convertible to ambidextrous and all that, because you don't have to change a lot. It's easier to change the design in a polymer frame than it is to do an alloy or steel frame or whatever. The next biggest thing. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you're not machining a bunch of metal down.
Exactly.
The polymer process, you can easily create that in a mold, and you're okay. Now this gun's ambi right off the bat. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that in the last couple years, especially last 3 probably, has the new craze of optic cuts and dots on pistols and all that. And I know that some of these great designs, the high powers, the 1911s and all that, now the newer models are all going to be at least be optic cut, if not optic ready, coming with an optic, some of them will, but at least you're going to be cut for it. Kyle, Chase, how much now how much does it change where now it's like, okay, well, do you almost have to do an optic cut version of whatever gun you're doing now? I'd imagine you have to.
I think Chase is probably going to echo this. It's so necessary.
Yeah,
it is so necessary. I'll say from personal experience, like on the Kiger 9C launch, that is one of the probably the most feedback we got on the Kiger 9C was like, where's the optic cut? So that was the birth of the Pro, and we went pretty deep into the Pro and got it turned around in a year. So
yeah,
but yeah, the Kiger 9C, all the feedback was like, dude, it's 2022. Where's the optic cut? So
and I'm not a huge optic guy on pistols, so I'm getting close. I've got some, and it is what it is. but I'm not that guy. I'm not buying a gun if it's not optic cut. I'm not that guy, but I know there are people out there now that won't buy a gun if it doesn't have a cut on there at least. It's just crazy, you know.
Oh, it's definitely a standard. It is definitely a standard.
Yeah.
It's definitely become the standard, not the exception to the rule now.
Yeah.
Like, you pretty much have to offer at least something in all your lines.
Well, shit, even 5-6 years ago, it was not the standard. It's only happened in the last 3 or 4 years to be a standard. I mean, it's crazy.
Really, the crazy times of, a few years ago really drove that going forward, that, hey, look, modern optics have caught up. You can put decent optics on things that hold up. They've definitely been more accepted. More people have tried them out. I mean, especially when everybody had much more free time a couple of years ago to go try stuff out. You learn real quick that, this isn't that hard. I mean, you look at people, everybody and their mama's got an AR, and 90% of them have a red dot on top of it. It's a natural transition. The progression's easy.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to why they're so popular. But absolutely, you have to offer just about everything.
At least a variant in optic cut.
Exactly. You got to have something in there for everybody.
Clover, let me bring you in here. You're more and more, especially more than I am at this point, more and more into liking optics on pistols in the last couple of years. But when it comes to putting an optic or optic cut on a 1911 or a high powers, these old great classic designs, your first reaction, is it awesome, or are you disappointed that that's gotten to this point with the optic cuts?
With the modernized designs, I don't think I mind
much.
I mean, I get it. I understand. And it can even look cool. One of my favorites, dude, is the high power PI lightweight. It's got an optic, and it's like, dude, it looks sweet.
Yeah.
So, but it's more modern. I mean, it's not an OG. If you was to take and like mill the slide or something on it, I mean, that's just heresy. Who would do that?
Yeah.
And if you would also, I would think if you would take like the MC35, whatever, and like the OG, like the original one, like if you just had the curved trigger and the, you had all that jazz, it was just plain Jane, and put an optic on it. To me, I don't necessarily think that would look right. You know what I mean? But it kind of has to do with the styling, slide
that
cut.
gun was never designed to hold an optic.
Does it have a rail? Yeah, I get you. But, does it have a rail? I mean, as you start getting some more modern features and all that stuff, into it, like to me, it doesn't look bad when you do that. But if you was to take, I'll use a great example on one that looks amazing, but I would never consider an optic on it, is the Untouchable.
Yeah.
Like I would never consider, I mean, that's not an option, but I would never consider, that thing would look horrible with an optic on it.
Oh, snap, Chase. Guys, go check the NSA text chat, not the other one. Chase sent some pictures. That's sweet, dude.
That was that back in the day, like really playing with that stuff. But talking about where optics have like come from, where they've gone, just in that short of time. You look at 10 years,
exactly.
A monstrous old Seymour compared to
you're talking 10 years ago.
Stuff.
10 years ago,
10 years, and the technology is just this crazy.
Well, there's an advantage to that, which is the optic does not move with the slide. So there's still
you're right.
There's still a competition advantage with running that type of optic, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Now I will say that gun absolutely ran like a champ, but 38.
Well, you're not adding
to 9 major. It was it was a blast.
What's up, Yehuda? See you in a couple months, homie. I'll see you in damn near 2 months. So yeah, go check out the Pew Pew Jew. Who does a great work. He's a great author. Yeah, go check him out. All right, my last question before we, as far as the retro guns or the classic reboots, if you will. If you could, I'm gonna go through the room right there. I'm gonna give you all a few minutes, but if you could go through today's, like, what's today's in the last, let's say 5, 6, 7 years, like today's designs and new designs in the last decade, is there one that you think would be interesting, let's say 30 years from now, as a modernized updated gun? Is there something out there today that you sit there and say, I'm kind of interested to see what they're going to do with this 30 years from now or something? Kyle, Clover, Chase, we don't have to go in any order. If you think of one, is there something that you would like to maybe see or be interested in, see what happens down the road?
Something like modern, more modern, and what are they going to do with it later? I don't get the question.
Yeah, well, yeah, like something that's come out, like a modern gun, like a current gun that's come out in the last, few years or something. Is there something you would sit there and say, man, I want to see what the technology is 30 years from now, because that thing might be badass,
So yeah, I'm not a 365 fan, right? Never have been. Since day one. They've got 18 billion different fucking models. I'm still not a 365 fan. However, at TriggerCon, there was a company that was like, had this totally modular, it used the fire control group for a 365, but then it was this totally modular kit.
And everything else was different.
Where you pick your grip frame, you pick your trigger guard, you pick your rail, you pick your slide, you pick your this, you pick your that. And it's Lego. It was like a Lego set. And
did it make you like the 365 a little bit?
Yes, because I shot some of them they had put together, and I'm like, okay, I can fucking get on board with this.
Right?
These.
Yeah.
They were also considerably more than, because of the modularity than a stock 365. But so I guess what I was getting at was that's already the case with the 365, that there are already things going on with that. So it's going to be the Gen 3 Glock 19 before too long,
Well, that's true. Maybe the question, instead of, and if you guys, Kyle or Chase, want to answer that first question, you can. Maybe the question might be a better question is, that's true too, Chase. Maybe the question is, what's the next discovery? What's the next big thing in guns going to be? I mean, the polymer became a big deal. The optic cut's the big deal. What do you think is the next 5 years from now? What's the next big thing that y'all as manufacturers and designers are going to have to worry about?
Directed energy weapons.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
I mean, seriously, I'm kind of down with that.
Well, I mean, that's where we're going. I mean, the ideas of we're to the limit of what you can do with modern
powder and projectiles,
projectile and all that. So the next big thing, I mean, we're already doing it with giant systems. So it's a matter of time before that's scaled down to something man portable. That's your next major quantum leap in the gun world, is going to be, non-smokeless powder propelled projectiles.
I agree. I wanted to say freaking sharks with laser beams.
I'm down.
That's 20 years from now. That's 25 years, not 10 years. I mean, attack controllable, remote controlled sharks with laser beams. Like, who needs a submarine at that point? Who needs a navy? I got laser guided sharks. Bring it on, bitches.
You're starting to see like the power of magnetic energy be used in rail guns, and it's going to be interesting.
Exactly. I mean, you think 20 years ago, because we were all of the age group where, Discovery Channel was still cool, and History Channel was sold all the cool stuff, in the afternoons. And
I still watch History Channel. I'm not going to lie, but I'm a history
But it wasn't
guy.
all reality TV. Like
no, it was You
remember like they use like magnetic directed energy for like the metal storm systems and all that, and like that. Hey, this is going to be the future. Well, I mean, that stuff is 20 years ago is becoming the norm now.
Yeah. Yeah. How far are we from blasters? Will it ever happen?
I mean, I think we'll see serviceable units before we die.
You think so?
I don't think they're going to be. We're not going to be to the Star Wars level in that time.
No. I'm not saying that, but
a man portable directed energy, be it magnetic, be it a laser, be it whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah.
You think before in our lifetime, at least there'll be a working gun.
Oh yeah, dude.
Well,
DARPA's already working on all kinds of crazy shit. So it's just
there probably is one somewhere. Yeah,
maybe not in the 40-watt range, but somewhere in that 5 to 10 at least, right?
Yeah, you would think.
Interesting. I would never have thought. I don't think it's going to be in our lifetime. But then again, you're 10 years, 12 years younger than I am, so that could be a difference in my lifetime and your lifetime. You and Kyle might get Clover, and I might not.
Me and Kyle's lifetime. How's that? Is that better?
Fuck you both. Yeah. No, it'd be interesting. What's sad is I'll be 50 in April, which holy cow, but I'll be 50 in April, but like I'm 10, 15 years away from being that grumpy old dude at the gun shop. Back in my day.
You're already
that
grumpy
guy.
old dude. What are you talking about?
I'm the guy that goes every morning, plays checkers and drinks coffee with his old guys. Like I'll be that guy in 15, 20 years, Hey
dude, in 10 years, you're going to be part of that Hardy's crew every morning. You know it.
I don't even want to think about that. Bro, I got my first AARP freaking thing in the mail. I was like, holy shit.
You're going to have that saggy banana, not the Savannah banana no more.
Be the rotten banana. The brown banana that just kind of just. Yeah, it'll be funny because I'll be that guy, we'll all be that guy one day going, I don't know what's wrong with the damn. There's nothing wrong with a good damn just regular old AR-15. Why's it got to be all crazy now these days? Is just give me a good old AR-15 or Glock 19 or whatever. Give me that. That shit was great back in my day, and like the guys are saying now, just give me an old 45 ACP 1911. That's all I ever need,
I still say that, but okay.
I know.
Yeah. You'll be that grumpy old dude with a Gen 3 Glock going, I can still do it all that.
This thing changed the world.
Nobody needs that gall dang directed energy nonsense over there.
Yeah. I remember when, yeah. I remember the damn 2011s came out. God bless America.
I mean, but in all seriousness, like think about, if you talk to people 20 years ago and like, hey, self-driving cars will be a normal thing in 15 years, people are like, you've lost your mind. And now look.
Yeah.
So technology is rapidly advancing. It's just depending on, what we do with it.
Well, that's the thing is if you look at the technological advances over the last 100 years, as technology has gotten better, it's also gotten much quicker. 10 years ago, they said that the microprocessors, they were good for 18 months because in 18 months, they'd figure out how to double that. Shit, that's not in 6 months. Like they can take whatever processor you have in your computer right now, and 6 months from now, it's obsolete.
Oh, it's obsolete.
Maybe a month or two.
Yeah, it's obsolete before it goes to market.
And 10 years ago, 20 years ago, it was 18 months, But that's as technology gets better, it also speeds technology up, which is kind of crazy.
You look at how fast you can rapid prototype stuff now that you couldn't do 20 years ago.
Well, just look at the way that 3D printers have changed everything. Clover can sit there in his house and prototype something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. By the way, I haven't in a long time because I've been finding some electrical issues that last week or something.
I
finally.
think you should just burn the fucking house down. Stand
Oh
up,
my
be a man, and
God.
burn it down.
I know, right? Yeah, that day's
We'll
coming.
build
believe
you a
me.
3D printed house if you need to.
Anyway, that's where I was fixing to go with it.
Armageddon 2.0.
But I finally figured out my electrical problem, and the first thing I told my wife when I got it all figured out and got it all fixed is I was like, "Holy shit! Now I can 3D print," because my electricity would go crazy when I tried to 3D print. But yeah, they're 3D printed houses. That's fucking amazing, dude. Like I literally want to do. I've thought about it because we've been thinking about doing something, and I'm like, man, I ought to just get somebody out and do a 3D printed house.
Think about how many current U.S. homeless people right now who have just given up. You could make little tiny communities of 3D printed houses with all the billions of dollars we've given away to people that don't like us recently. Yep. And you could literally end the U.S. homelessness problem with a government-funded program.
Absolutely, you could.
All thanks to 3D printed technology.
You know, that's where I think that we were talking about the polymer and all that, but I think that's where the cool thing. I think that's where the technology side of the firearm industry is going. It's not necessarily the home, but I think that most guns, you're going to be able somehow, some way, someone at home will be able to 3D print something to enhance and customize their gun however they want them through a 3D printer and all that. So I think that's kind of interesting, you know, whether it's grip modules or 3D printing grip, you know, G10 grips of your own or whatever, doing whatever crazy ass designs of grip texture that you want. All of that stuff is really kind of personalized now. It's pretty cool.
Think about it. Give it a couple of years. You'll have the cool new, you know, Elon Neuralink, and you can just think it and it'll just start printing for you.
That's scary because I think some really fucked up shit in my head. So I don't want anything hooked up to my brainwaves because there's no telling what happens when I wake up the next morning, what it's latched onto. Some dark shit going on up here. Not as much as yours, Chase, but there's some dark shit going on up here.
I don't know what you're talking about there, dude.
Right. Scorched earth, bitch. Going on 2 hours. Thank you guys. It's been a fun conversation. Kyle, I want to bring you in real quick. Let you talk about Anderson. Obviously, your Veterans Week sale going on. More importantly, what else you got going down on Anderson? I know you guys are getting stuff ready for SHOT. Anything cool coming out at SHOT that you can't talk about right now?
I got nothing to talk about on that end, Ghost, right now.
Fantastic.
But yeah, vets, you're out there listening. Make sure you go to andersonmanufacturing.com. Get your veteran account set up and take advantage of 30% off this week. And yeah, check us out on socials at Anderson Manufacturing, except for X, where we're at Anderson Rifles.
There you go. Chase, you guys, the X series is out and about. It's been seen in public. There's some pretty cool shit coming down the line from you guys. Want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah. So as we have talked about previously, we got 2025 started off early. So, we got several of these new enhanced X models. The Brats, the 2311 Brat little baby officer model is shipping currently. We just shipped out some of the first of the new influencer X's on all 4 calibers, Regard MCXs, 14 TX. I mean, some of the 2311 matches. I mean, that stuff's all starting to hit the market.
Yeah.
So by the time SHOT Show gets here, the general public will have their chance to actually put their hands on the new guns. And that's the whole idea behind that, was we wanted to have, new guns out in the, out to distributors, out to dealers, by the time SHOT hits, everybody can have
that's changed over the last decade, I would say, as far as launch timing, because, forever SHOT Show for a lot of people was the launch date. And now we want this stuff out in public before SHOT and all that. So is that something that you think that's where the trend is with the industry is NASGW and all these different things? Are those being more of the launch points now instead of waiting for SHOT?
Yeah, I mean, NSW, a lot of stuff has always been showed off there, but it's always kind of been secret. And now you got more people, especially after the last couple of years, going, hey, this is what's coming. Let's start moving this stuff. Because, I mean, Kyle knows the first part of the year, that's your make or break. That's how you know what your year is going to do. If you don't, you know, that first quarter is real important. And then obviously the back end of the year, you know, the holidays. But you want to be able to have that stuff out. I mean, you know, for our distributor partners and our dealer partners, they'll start having some of the new guns in for the holiday rush, for that sale that, you know, inevitably happens every year. That stream of revenue, should I say.
Nice. Yeah, go check out eaacorp.com. A lot of awesome stuff that's always been there, but the X series, man, there's a couple models in there that are just badass.
Dude, I'm liking that Brat. I'm looking at
Brat's
Brat
so
right
badass, isn't it? That Brat is the coolest thing.
I was like, there's no fucking way they called it a Brat. And I looked at that thing's sick, dude.
It's sick.
Just wait till you see the spoiled Brat.
The spoiled Brat.
Please tell me that's
like a snub nose, if an actual snub nose full mag.
Bro, I'll put it this way: if Gold Member carried a baby 2311,
oh my god,
yes, for the Short King.
That's it for the Short Kings. I was thinking of, you know, Ghost and Clover specifically when we designed that one.
I'm surprised you didn't name it the Ghost or Clover. You know, I'd give you permission to do that.
Yeah, I did not name that one, but you know, that's where it went.
No, that's pretty cool. That Brat's just sick. My two favorite, nothing against any other ones, but my two favorites, the Brat and the Regard. You know, the 92 design. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool as shit. But yeah, Cobra Arms wants to know, will Anderson be restocking the front line anytime soon? Supply and demand, my man. They're working their asses off trying to catch up.
Yeah, we are. Cobra, just reach out to us, sales@andersonmanufacturing.com. We can definitely hook you up, man.
There you go. Chase, anything else you want to bring up with EAA right now?
Nah, man. Just, you know, all the new stuff are rolling. Keep your eyes out for maybe a surprise or two. Who ever knows with us.
Whoop, whoop. Whoop,
you know, shots are coming, kids.
Shots are coming. Yeah, I really, what you guys did with the X series. First off, congrats for keeping that under wrap for a year. That was pretty awesome. That X series, what y'all have done with that, with the simple things, not necessarily a lot of different, I don't know what you'd call it, but Cerakote colors, but just doing two tones here and there and little bitty, like just touches here and there, really, that they look fantastic. Obviously with all the optic cuts, and you have the rails and all of that. It's just, it's really, really cool. I know that there's not a whole lot new designed about them, but they are talking about bringing younger people and newer people to those designs. The X series, I think, is going to bring a lot of new customers to those designs because they just look badass.
Oh yeah. The one that's really not getting as much attention right now, and I mean, as more of those things ship out and more people get them in their hands, the one that's going to really surprise a lot of people is that Influencer X. That's a lot of gun for the money, especially with the updates to it, a reverse crown, a full rail, you know, an optic, adjustable rear sight that's an RMSC optic cut underneath it, the lightning cuts. There's a lot, you know, but a guaranteed tune trigger and a guaranteed proof target.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is that something that is new for you guys? Is the tune trigger and the guaranteed proof target that comes along with inside the box and all that?
Yeah.
Do you think that that's going to be something that's more of an industry standard coming down, is at least having a model that has a quote unquote stock tune trigger? You know, is that something that's going to have to be more of a standard now?
I mean, I think so, because people are so a trigger is one of those things that people make or break. They judge a gun by. I mean, there's a lot of enhanced triggers, tune triggers, all that stuff on the market, but at the price point,
a lot of people don't. Yeah, but a lot of people aftermarket triggers. A lot of people don't want to go through the hassle of changing the trigger out. Let's just buy when it's enhanced.
But let's be honest, most of the guns that you see a really good trigger in that, they're all in that $2,000 plus ballpark.
There you go.
I'm doing a gun that should be 4 times the price for what we're selling them right now. That's what I'm saying. It's a lot of gun for money. I mean, who's doing proof targets anymore that's not a custom gun?
Yep.
And I mean, I put my hands on the actual proof targets that just came in. So I mean,
especially at the price point that you guys are bringing them at. I mean, like you said, these things are half, if not more than half, of what you're typically going to be paying for these stuff. Oh, it's awesome. Can't wait to get my hands on them. Are they going to be at range day? I'm assuming at SHOT Show.
Oh, they will be.
Oh, they will.
If anybody was lucky enough to go to CamCon, there was a couple of them that made a surprise appearance there.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Clove, what you got going on? Anything? Except for being just a bitchy, whiny person in this world.
I'm still trying not to die, so there's that.
Yeah, you really know how to bring the fucking bubble gum and shit to life, don't you?
He says, "Hush up and leave him alone." Christ. He's got a really big instruction manual he's trying to read right now.
Yeah.
You're interrupting that.
Oh my God, yeah. Man, I'm gonna tell you. So I've been talking for a while about the chrono that was coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And getting that worked in. Holy shit!
You still haven't figured out how to use that shit,
I think Elon Musk uses this fucker here for SpaceX. That's how complicated this.
How long is it gonna take for you to figure out how to use that fucking thing,
dude? Like, just give me some feet per second. Like, I don't need to know ballistic coefficients at a certain square distance from the sun or some kind of shit. I mean, this thing's crazy, dude. But yeah, there'll be hopefully in the next week or so there'll be the first sighting of that anyway.
Well, do you have an idea of what you want the first gun to go through that is? Have you figured that out yet?
Oh, we're gonna run some 30 super carry probably right out of the gate through that because that's one of the reasons I've been waiting.
There's not a whole lot of ballistic data on that, is there?
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I've been waiting is I really want to get some chrono stuff on some 30 super carry. And so that probably will be the first time you see it. Now it won't be a review on it or nothing like that.
No. But you're going to use it. You're going to use it. Yeah.
It'll be used. It'll be used in a lot of videos. Folks will see it a lot moving forward. But they're not even. I found no place. In fact, I had emailed Jared with AOB today because I was like, man, the next video I'm probably going to use it. And so I got on Caldwell, I got on Amazon, I got on Midway, I got on Brownells, they're not for sale anywhere. And I'm like, dude, when are these going to be in stores and out there? Because if I put these in videos, there's going to be people going, hey, where the fuck do you get that awesome chrono? And it's like, I need to know. I need to know if they're not available or, what to tell people, So. But yeah, really looking forward to that. That's going to be cool.
Well, shit, if it takes them a week to figure out how to fucking use it, they might not do real well.
Well, this is true.
Well, we were discussing all the stuff it does. It's pretty, honestly, it's pretty slick.
Yeah.
But my question is, like what we were talking about earlier, all the things it can do. Can it tell you the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow?
Oh, well, there's probably a button for that too. Yeah.
There is a button for that, I'm sure.
But no, it's weird, man. It's unlike any. It works. So your traditional chronos are optical chronographs, and then you moved into the Garmin is the radar.
Mm-hmm.
This one works more like a sonar.
Oh, with different waves out there.
So yeah, so like if you this one will actually give you, you set your chrono up and you shoot, and it says X number of feet per second, right? That's your muzzle velocity or whatever. This one will actually give you different velocities down at different yardages downrange. Like it will tell you it's X number of feet per second at 10 yards. It's X number of feet per second at 20 yards. It's X number of feet a second at 30 yards, all the way to the target.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, really kind of strange.
I'm looking forward. I don't like saying this. I don't want to get you a big head, because I usually will never say that I'm looking forward to seeing one of your videos.
Yeah.
But I'm actually looking forward to seeing some of the ballistic stuff.
Well, that'll be more of the video on that one to explain kind of how it works. And like I said, I'm waiting until they get out in stores and available to buy before I do anything like that. I don't see any reason to put a video out when people can't go buy one, explaining how it works and all that. But it will make it, like I said, it will make an appearance. No G23 lab radar it's a radar. So it's
a laser,
way more advanced than lab radar.
Scott wants to know, what's the range on that Clover? How far out will it give you that reading? I mean, can you go 100, 200 yards, or do you know yet?
That's a question I don't know yet. Okay. Everything says 100 yards.
Okay.
That I'm reading, and I don't know if that means that it can't go any further than 100 yards. But then you got to realize too that it's picking up somehow. It's picking up on the bullet traveling or whatever, and at some point there is going to be a distance issue. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be so small, or the effect that the bullet is making in the ambient air or whatever is going to be so little that it won't pick up. So it'll be that may be something interesting to get out on a range and see how far it'll read.
Interesting.
Yeah,
really cool. Pretty interesting, maybe for some reloading data as well to figure out.
100%, dude. It will calculate your ballistic coefficients.
That's what I'm saying. Like that could make
like literally
awesome.
Yeah, it will literally calculate them for you. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. No math. I don't have to use a calculator and pieces of paper anymore. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Looking forward to that. Happy birthday to all my jarheads out there. Happy Veterans Day to everyone from yesterday. Hope everyone had a good day. I worked both days, so it's just another day. Just another day. We got Thanksgiving coming up. Got Black Friday coming up, so we've probably seen some really interesting sales that maybe people are going to be talking about here in the next few weeks. Obviously, Christmas coming up and all that. So we're going to start doing some stuff on I know. Some different kind of gift ideas. We do this every year, but it's kind of cool because every year is new products and all that. Obviously, it might be one of these freaking ballistic radar things or whatever the hell you want to call them. Kind of go through that. So the next buying guides and different things, we kind of splitting those up into all that into the show. Be kind of fun. A week ago, we were on for 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours for the election. Me personally, I have had more fun in the last week watching people absolutely lose their shit and melt down on social media, cutting their hair off and crying. And I don't think anyone could accurately measure that, Chase, by the way. That's in a whole different realm. But yeah, I've enjoyed the meltdown. It's going to be interesting to see the transition picks for cabinet members. I think that Rubio for Secretary of State could be interesting. I'm not really sure yet, but that could be interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the ones that was kind of threw me too. I was like,
yeah.
Is that a done deal? I don't know if that's a done deal, isn't it?
I don't know. Chase would know more about that because being a Floridian. Yeah.
I knew Rubio was super short list.
Yeah, it's being reported everywhere that he is the pick now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, it has to be Senate approved, but it's a Republican Senate now, so it's not going to be a big deal.
Yeah. You see,
it's probably his to say no to. How about that, Chase? It's probably his to turn down.
For sure. You saw they picked the SecDef too right before you got on, didn't you?
No, who'd they pick?
Pete Hegseth.
Really?
So not Tulsi.
Tulsi's going to be somewhere.
She is, but man, she needs to be somewhere. I thought she had a chance for state. It was a long shot, but I thought she had a chance. I want to see what he does with Attorney General. That's going to be a big one.
I still think that's going to be like we talked about the other day, last week during all that madness. I think that'll be a Cruz appointment.
I think Cruz is going to be up there. But here's the thing: Cruz just ran. I don't know. I think Cruz would be a phenomenal Attorney General. Do you think? Let me ask you guys this: if he's offered, does he take it? I think he actually does.
Or what?
If Cruz is offered Attorney General, does he take it and resign from the Senate?
Ooh, I think he does too.
I think he does.
I do. I think he takes it because, one, he can make a big difference as the AG really go hard on it. But if a Supreme Court seat does open, he can be elevated to the court.
I mean that does look good on a resume,
And Trump,
General of the United States.
And Trump really screwed the pooch with AG his first term. Oh my God, he could not have picked the worst.
He knows it.
AG.
I think what we may see now, because you've got national security advisors filled, Secretary of State's filled, SecDef filled, Tulsi may be your new VA secretary.
I'm okay with that, actually.
I would be okay with that because
I would be okay. I think talking about someone who would go in and start stirring shit up,
clean up that
man. Because she's going to go with a bull in a china room, and that could be interesting.
Would she take something like a press secretary?
No. I think that she wants from everything. I listen to a lot of the stuff that she puts out there on a daily basis, and she's made it pretty clear. She wants to do two things. She wants to work with something to do with the military, and she's very, very important to her is foreign policy. Now, if you're not going to get the foreign policy with defense or state, I think that she still wants to do something to protect the military.
There's something with Joint Chiefs that require something that she like some other status or something.
Well, I think that Secretary of Defense, and Chase and I were talking about this earlier. Secretary of Defense is over the Pentagon. But here's the interesting thing. I think she would probably take SecDef. I don't know how much they would want her there because she's made it plainly clear that she's very pro military, but she's very anti-war machine. And Pentagon's all about the war machine. And I don't think that she'd be well liked at the Pentagon. Now, they may not have a choice if she's there. Obviously, she'd be their boss. But I don't know how much they would appreciate having her there. I don't know.
Somebody, well, I've seen a video earlier. They were talking about, somebody mentioned, Brandon mentioned Herrera out there in the chat. Was it Johnny put up a video, Brandon Herrera for ATF director?
I mean, why not?
I'm hoping.
If you're not gonna completely dismantle it, I mean, sure, but I'd rather see it dismantled myself.
Let's see what Elon and Vivek do with their new Doge position.
The Doge, baby.
The Doge, baby.
So that's
Peter Ducey is White House press secretary. I wouldn't mind seeing Ducey as the White House press secretary. I think that'd be kind of funny. I still love the idea of Tucker Carlson being director of communications, saying "fuck you all."
Oh yeah. I think the press secretary will be a chick. I really do. I don't know who, but I foresee it being a chick.
She'll never do it, but you know who I think would be an amazing one because she would take no shit from anyone, and no one would have anything on her to go after with. I think Ivanka would be a fantastic press secretary.
Oh yeah,
she'll never do it because she's too busy running the country, the company. But wouldn't that be awesome? How about a Megyn Kelly?
She wouldn't walk away from what she's got.
You don't think she's making too much money?
Yeah, that'd be a step down for her, honestly.
Yeah,
making money, and she's got too much free reign and influence now.
Yeah. True. Press Secretary Alex Jones, fuck you.
Oh God,
no sir.
Hey,
that would be hilarious. Just
Theo
funny.
Theo Vaughn, man. Theo Vaughn
oh
press secretary.
My God.
Please
Nate Bargatze. Nate Bargatze. Or what's the dude that's so funny that was on SNL not too long ago? The big guy that does a great Trump impression. The comedian. Oh Jesus, what's his name? Shane Gillis.
Gillis. Yeah.
Shane Gillis being press secretary because he'd walk in and like start out every press conference as making fun of Trump, doing like talking as Trump and all. Oh, it'd be so good. It'd be so good.
He Alex Jones for Trump as Trump every single time. Just do it as Trump.
Yeah, it'd be so good. Let's see who they're talking about.
Let's have some fun with it.
Trump press secretary list. Interesting. Caroline Leavitt, but she was with him on his campaign the whole time. So I mean, that would be a natural one, obviously.
Yeah.
Stephen Chung, they're saying I could see that. He was with the campaign there for a while. Alina Habba, I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Scott Jennings. I guess he was on CNN, but he was one of his. I don't know. If he was CNN, I don't think that he's going to let them on there. Jason Miller. I don't know. Those are the top 5 that a lot of people are saying. Yeah. I don't know.
It'll be a no name, I'm sure. It'll be somebody you don't know until they put them in there.
Yeah.
Typically, that's a stepping stone to a news anchor show.
Exactly. Exactly.
Usually, how press secretary works. It's a nobody.
I didn't see that the UN ambassador is Elise Stefanik. I didn't realize. Yeah. I didn't see that before. Oh, that could be interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Holy shit. Ambassador to Israel's Mike Huckabee. I'll be damned. Interesting. CIA Director John Ratcliffe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Defense Secretary Hegseth. I get it. Susie Wiles is going to be Chief of Staff. I guess his legislative liaison is going to be Stephen Miller, whatever they call him now, the Chief of Staff for Policy.
Chief. Yeah.
For policy, but they used to call it the Chief Legislative Liaison, but they all changed names. NSA's Mike Waltz. White House Counsel Bill McGinley. Let's see here. Department or Doge is Elon and Vivek. That's that might be the coolest thing ever. Is Elon and Vivek? Can you imagine the conversations that those two could have? Holy shit!
The hearing room where they basically grill all the government agencies.
Yeah, I want you to come into a room and talk to both of us about why you need this kind of money. Just explain it to us. They have to
call it the dojo, though.
The dojo.
The Doge dash O.
The Doge office. Dojo.
Hell yeah. Oh, so good.
See where Kristi Noem's going to be Homeland Security Secretary.
I saw that. Yeah.
That's getting her out of South Dakota.
Yeah, I'm not against that. That's okay.
No.
Yeah, it's just such a short list for Tulsi left. It's like, damn.
So here we go.
RFK will be
Health and Human Services. Yes.
I mean,
so go with me on this. We know that Trump is a lame duck president. It's a one term at this point. We know that. As much as I hate it, I don't believe that Tulsi will ever be the president, right?
Yeah, I don't.
What if she becomes the RNC hires her to prepare for the 2028 election, saying, look, we want you to guide the party through the 2028. From now, you got 4 years to groom.
Like RNC chair?
Like RNC chair for the next 4 years. I think that could be an interesting place for her, because I think that she's well respected and someone that used to be Democrat that knows their ways of doing shit, because in 4 years, there's not an incumbent. In 4 years is a crucial election. What if she's also in charge of the midterm elections? Like the message, that could be an interesting thing as RNC chair. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I almost see, I've got this sneaking suspicion it'll be Vance Gabbard.
You think so?
28. Yeah.
I'm fucking okay with that, by the way.
I am too, but I got a sneaking suspicion. And if she, depending on what she takes, she almost needs a cabinet position.
Though. She needs a cabinet position to justify that.
Oh, if she doesn't get a cabinet position, my thoughts on that, they're gone. I won't think that anymore. But if she gets a cabinet position, then I think that's where we're going to be going with it.
Yeah.
Nothing's been said about VA yet, so I think that's where she winds up, because I think that's where she could do. She came from a medical unit for years.
Yep.
That's valid.
And that's where she got her white streak in her hair, was the stress from seeing all that. So she has that empathy to deal with the VA. I think she'd be a good choice for that, to try to unfuck that madness.
If you're okay, let's take this out here and say she doesn't get a cabinet position. Let's just assume that. What about director of the ATF?
It's entirely possible.
She shoots competition. She's all about guns. She's all about self-defense and the Second Amendment. You can say what you want. That could be interesting. That could be really interesting, especially if Cruz gets Attorney General and you get Attorney General and Tulsi working together with the ATF. This could be really interesting with a conservative-leaning Supreme Court. Hang on.
Or you put her in charge.
She is not a gun ban advocate, mandatory carry. She is not a gun ban advocate. Trust me. She ran as a Democrat out of Hawaii because they've never elected anyone in Hawaii a Republican. Just saying.
Yeah.
What has happened since she left Congress? She has actually quit the Democratic Party. She was at SHOT Show the last few years. Hell, like, come on. She's not a gun ban advocate. Anyways. Interesting. Yeah, the reason why I bring Tulsi, because I love Tulsi. She's my favorite. I've been talking about her for years and years and years. Even when she was still a Democrat, I thought she was someone that I think could do a lot of good in our government. And I'm really interested to see where she ends up, because she's going to be a prominent player, I do believe.
Well, if you paid attention to her for any length of time, you've seen it's like you said, she played the political games that she had to play
to get elected. Absolutely, she had to get elected.
And I get it. Yeah. Like if I play stupid games, win stupid prizes, and I fucking understand when people go, oh, she's anti-2A and she's blah blah blah, and she's this and she's that. Well, first of all, people change. That's first of all.
Well, that's true too.
But even assuming that people don't, she was playing a part. She was playing a role. She was playing a political game. And there's some people that
get in the room first before she could change the room. She had to get in the room. Yeah.
There's some people that still can't forgive that. And if you can't, that's fine.
I get it.
You live your life the way you want to live your life. And that's fine. Yeah.
Give her a chance. Give her a chance.
But if you were faced with Gabbard Harris 2024, which would you have chosen?
Shit.
Let's be honest.
It wouldn't even be close.
Right.
Yeah, and I get it, man. He says he can't forgive. I get it. I'm not saying to you. Maybe I'll put it this way: you may not be able to ever forgive her. Okay, I would say this: before making up 100% your mind, go do some research on her, and you might change that too. You may not be able to forgive her, but you might be okay with her. That's all I'm going to say. Anyways, yeah, God, 2.5 hours. We could talk politics forever. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you for Kyle from Anderson Manufacturing. Thanks for Chase from EAA. Thanks for CloverTac. Oh, no, I'm not dogging the mandatory care. I love you, man. Yeah, you're being honest, and that's great. And I'm just being honest with you. Before you 100% throw that dagger in there, all I ask is before you make a decision, do a little bit of research. And if you still come back and say, screw that, I don't, then I'm all for it. I get it. Go check out Anderson Manufacturing on social media. Pretty much everywhere is Anderson Manufacturing except for X. It's Anderson Rifles. Go check out EAA and all of their social medias at EAA Corp. And go check out Clover everywhere, CloverTac. He is a media whore. If there is somewhere that he could be on a platform, he is on there. He is almost as bad as our friend Pinkus.
This is not true. I have been banned from Pinterest.
I don't even want to know how you get banned from Pinterest.
How do you get banned from Pinterest?
Yeah, I didn't know you could, much less how does that happen?
Are you trying to do a how-to video on dominoes?
Wow. Now,
Worry stones.
I get Roaring Stones and dominoes under certain contexts. Very well could get it done. Yeah. Mandatory carry says, Kyle, can I get an email address for you? I got something you would like to look at. You might wait. I don't, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Story time, Clover. Yeah, he wants to know how you got kicked off. We'll do that next week. We'll
I'll tell you what. I'll fire up a YouTube members only stream. How's that sound?
Oh, you got to pay to play.
They could pay to play. Yeah.
Pay to play, you bastard.
I don't give it away for free.
That's what she
unlike
said.
Kyle.
That's what his Feet Finder account says.
Give it away now. That should be your intro music to that podcast, is a little chili peppers. Give it away now. All right, we're out of here, guys. Thank you guys for sticking around for 2.5 hours. You're not getting your money back. You're sure as hell not getting your time back. We'll see you next week. Remember, get to the range. Be more proficient with your firearms. Enjoy your freedoms of being an American, one of which is to keep and bear arms. We'll see you next week. Semper Fi.